Virgil van Dijk has given a huge update with regards to his contract situation. Saka has come out of an interview speaking about he wants to win league titles. And there are a lot of reports floating about that Viktor Gyokeres, his agent, has been seen in London. And we all know Andrea Berta is a big, big fan of this guy. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts on every single topic we discuss. Make sure you get over and follow the TikTok as well. Champions League predictions are out on there. And we are steamrolling our way towards 50,000 subscribers. We are roughly, just to be precise, 560 away from the big 50K, and 90% of you have not subscribed. We're going to start off with the Virgil van Dijk news coming out earlier today from The Athletic, which is a very, very good source. Virgil van Dijk has confirmed that progress has been made with Liverpool over new contract talks. Now, I've remained very consistent on my thoughts that I do believe that Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk will both be signing contract extensions with Liverpool. However, Trent Alexander-Arnold will be the one I do believe will be a Real Madrid player. Now, Virgil van Dijk has come out. Fabrizio Romano says there is progress. Yeah, there are internal discussions. I love the club. I love Liverpool. I love the fans. You know that if you're a Liverpool fan, that is exactly what you want to hear from the best centre-back in the world, who's going to be the first ever Dutch captain to lift the Premier League trophy. I do personally think, though, Liverpool need to go and sign another centre-back in the summer. If Konate or Virgil van Dijk do get a long-term injury, I'm looking at Quansah. I'm looking at Joel Gomez. There isn't really a huge amount of depth there. Before they had players like Joel Matip, who is very, very underrated. I do think they need one more in there, but that is very, very, very good news if you, of course, are a Liverpool fan. Now, Mohamed Salah, last week there was a lot of news coming out that he was pictured down the Liverpool docks filming. I think that was more of a sponsor rather than him coming out and signing a new contract. I think it's a matter of time, though. Of course, Liverpool did win the Merseyside derby at the weekend. Last week. And then, of course, they lost 3-2 to Fulham. I think they've only got to win, 3 of the next 8 or something like that, or 3 of the next 7, and they're crowned Premier League champions. And they deserve it this season. They've been the best team out there by a country mile. It's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens with regards to their transfer plan. Of course, they are very, very, very happy with the squad they've got, but they obviously can improve that. Now, Bukayo Saka has done an interview, and it says he apparently has been talking regarding a new deal, and he says, I want to win, wearing this badge. It's pretty clear the fans know how much I love them. You saw them when I returned. I think they love me back, so it's good. A relationship. I'm really happy to be here. I'm just focused on winning at Arsenal. Now, speaking of winning at Arsenal, we'll come back to the Bukayo Saka shenanigans in a little while. Viktor Gyokeres, his agent, has apparently been seen in London. Now, I don't know how reliable this source is, and before anyone says it's clickbait, I'm literally just reading a report, giving my opinion, and you guys can also give your opinion down below, and I'll try and get back to as many of you as I can. But we know Andrea Berta is a big, big fan of Gyokeres. We also know that he is more realistic, according to David Ornstein, than an Alexander Isak. Now, if Newcastle win tonight, they're very, very close to being in the top 4. And, it's going to be very, very interesting to see if the reports are true. Now, The Athletic have said Sporting would be willing to lower their asking price for Viktor Gyokeres from 85 million to around 59 million, with Arsenal and Manchester United still interested. And there he is, of course, an unbelievable goal scorer. And it's funny that now, because a lot of the news are coming out, Sky Sports are now posting up compilations of his best goals since being in England. So I think there's more to this story. TBR Football have put out Viktor Gyokeres is ready to make Arsenal his top priority this summer after being impressed by talks with Gunners this week. So look, it all depends on what you believe. I personally believe he will be leaving this upcoming transfer window. I just don't know where that is going to be. It's most likely, according to the reports, going to be Arsenal. Now, this report was a week old, but it's a lot of people are talking about it, from David Ornstein saying Arsenal are developing a strong interest in Viktor Gyokeres as possible striker signing. Andrea Berta is a firm admirer of the 26-year-old Sporting forward, expected to figure prominently among Arsenal's options, and maybe more realistic than Isaac now, or Alexander Isak, or Isaac, however you want to pronounce it. Now, Andrea Berta, knowing the fact that he is a big, big admirer, he's apparently been seen in London. So maybe he's just going on a holiday. Maybe he's going to catch up with, Andrea Berta is going to catch up with Gyokeres' agent. Sorry, not Andrea Berta. Gyokeres' agent has been seen in London. Now, make of that what you will. Now, tomorrow night for Arsenal, it's the biggest game of the season. And you are up against the absolute best in the Champions League, Real Madrid. You will see how they cope without a number 9. I personally think if they did have a Viktor Gyokeres in that side, that would be an absolute game changer. Now, more news coming out from Fabrizio Romano, and this is absolutely fantastic news. Fantastic news. Tottenham position has not changed. Spurs will not sign Timo Werner on a permanent deal from RB Leipzig. He's going to leave Tottenham in June, return to Leipzig, and assess new club options, as he's expected to leave the German side again. And look, this guy may be injured. He hasn't featured for Tottenham in a long, long time. I think it's over a month since I last saw this guy play. I would be more than happy for this guy to leave the football club. Look, it's not his fault. He's just not at the level. It's a completely diabolical footballing decision from Tottenham. I personally believe that when we look at Timo Werner, his best days are behind him. Whoever decided to put this guy on 170 grand is absolutely they need to honestly look at this guy and figure out what in the fucking world are we thinking about. But look, it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. Will Viktor Gyokeres be an Arsenal player? Will Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah sign new contracts? Bukayo Saka wants to win titles. In terms of other transfer news, there's a lot of stuff out there, linking Bukayo Saka to signing a new deal. Phil Foden as well has been getting massive criticism. And another one that has just come out within the last, hour or so is that Eberechi Eze is a target for Arsenal this upcoming summer. Lots of people have come out and said that Arsenal and Liverpool are set among the clubs trying to sign Crystal Palace signing. Court Offside, which is a relatively good source, has said, how much is he worth? I think to Crystal Palace, he is worth around the 60 million mark. Of course, Tottenham last summer were heavily interested and linked with this guy. I've seen the rumours, circulating with Tottenham that he is, of course, part of the same agency. Maddison and Eze on the same side would be really, really good for us. But I think there is more chance he joins Arsenal. They need a creative midfielder. Eze in Arsenal would be an absolutely unbelievable signing. You look at Liverpool, Dominic Szoboszlai is not a 10 for me. He's more of an 8. He's got the energy. He's got the work rate of an 8. He doesn't have the final pass of a 10. He doesn't have the goal-scoring ability of a 10. Eberechi Eze, for me, is a very, very good player. Very, very, very good player. Very creative, very direct, can play out wide, can play in the 10, 8 assists and 2 goals in 26 appearances this season in the Premier League. Last season, 11 goals and 4 assists. Season before that, 10 goals, 4 assists. Very, very good record for Crystal Palace. Very good creative player. Homegrown as well. Ticks a lot of the boxes that Arsenal need, as well as Liverpool. Tottenham and Man United were heavily interested in this guy back in the summer. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Very, very interesting to see what happens with his future. Let me know your thoughts down below on Eze, Virgil van Dijk's new contract, Mohamed Salah's new contract. Of course, Bukayo Saka coming out saying he wants to win titles. And do you think Viktor Gyokeres will be an Arsenal player in the summer. I am out.